my name is Dan.
And my name is also Dan.
And welcome to the Dan the Games Man podcast, here from the Games Room on the couch. And what better way to start any podcast than by asking the most obvious question to any gamer. Dan, what have you been playing this week?
This week I have been getting stuck into Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
I have also been playing a lot of Indiana Jones and punching a lot of Nazis.
Oh yeah, got to be done. And throwing any breakable object at them.
Or throwing them off anything.
Also fun.
And just causing chaos. How far are you into it so far?
I've been bunning around the Vatican trying to get every little last thing done, and I think I'm currently stuck beating my head against the brick wall of the boxing club.
Yeah, see, I read somewhere online it's best to get out of the Vatican and get to, spoiler alert, Egypt, where I'm at the moment, which is, I think, is way better.
Yeah, to be fair.
It is much more exciting. But yeah, it's such a good game.
There's just a very good sort of world building about it that I think is clearly reflective of how much they enjoy the franchise. It's not just a cash grab.
Yeah, it really doesn't fit. It feels like a sixth Indiana Jones. How many Indiana Jones? It depends which Indiana Jones films we class as existing. There's some that probably shouldn't. But yeah, it just feels like a continuation of the film series, doesn't it?
Yeah, even to the point where they've obviously grasped that the whip is such an integral part of the character that the physics on it are just ridiculous.
Absolutely crazy. And the whip, you actually get to upgrade the whip later on. Again, spoiler alert. But yeah, that makes it really cool. And I think, yeah, it's the fact, it's not like, if you haven't played it, it's not like a first person shooter, is it?
No, not at all.
But it's also not the most stealthy game. It can be quite stealthy, but I think it's quite slapstick, is how I'd...
100%. There's a lot of the sort of Hitman sort of things going wrong cascade. Like, oops, they've seen me, bonk, bonk, bonk.
There's a lot of sneaking up behind people, tapping them on the shoulders and punching. There's a lot of punching Nazis in this game. An incredible amount of punching Nazis. And I'm totally here for it. But yeah, it's one of the best games I've played on Xbox from last year. 100%.
Yeah, and the fact it was day one Games Pass was quite a gift.
This is something we're going to get onto later on, is the state of Games Pass in 2024, and probably more going into the state of Games Pass in 2025, which is a lot brighter, thankfully. But anything else you've been playing this week at all?
I've been doing sort of just catching up with some more Helldivers because I got a little bit behind.
We had a really good schedule on Helldivers, over on Twitch, and it got worse over Christmas. You know, democracy had to wait for a little while. It's one of those games. It's continuously good, but it is good when something new and fresh happens. Yeah,
otherwise it is sort of flogging a particular dead pelican, as it were.
But I think we definitely had some periods, especially just before the Illuminate came in, when it was like, oh, hold this planet for some bugs. It's like, we've done it for 3 months, but it's still, for a game that's less than a year old, it's still really good. So many live service games per se, or online only games, they do not have a long lifespan now.
No, and the fact that it's live servicey, but you don't really suffer from if you don't put any more money into it once you bought it.
No, and it's one of the very few games I have spent real world money on because I do want shiny new weapons of destruction.
100%. If my cape isn't on point,
and they are affordable as well, and you can earn the kind of money in game, which does really help.
Yeah, being able to just collect most of it and then just give it a little top up.
Yeah,
with real money.
And also, as well, on the topic of games you've been playing, I know you've been playing Vampire Survivors.
Oh yes, 100%.
I think I really infected you with that one. It's addictive, isn't it?
I think so far you're 4 for 4 on games where you're you might like this, and then it's just become my hyperfixation.
Seriously, if you haven't played Vampire Survivors, again, it's on Games Pass, but it's why is it £3 or something absurd? I must have put 100 hours into that game. Easy.
Yeah, I only started playing it, I think, in late October, and by the time the Xbox wrap-up thing, it was my most played game of the year.
And the DLCs are so cheap, and the new Castlevania one is so good. I've only just scratched the surface. But would you say you're finishing it up?
I've done the sort of main quest line, as it were, but then once you do that, you get a bajillion more Castlevania characters to unlock.
It's actually crazy how much Castlevania stuff. I would struggle to think of a Castlevania character that isn't in that game.
Oh yeah, there are I've played all of the games, so there might be ones that just gone, this kind of fits in universe. Anyway.
Yeah, I think there's even some from the Netflix crossover.
Yes, yeah, 100%. There's something about the core gameplay loop that even though it's so simple, it's just like, oh, a little run. Oh, a little run.
I think it's as well because up until a point you can play it for just half an hour or 25 minutes. And then you get really good at it and you can play it forever and ever. But yeah, spoilers alert with that one.
My record, I think, is 71 and a bit minutes.
That's ridiculous. I remember when you first start playing that game, it's like, right, if I can get to 5 minutes, it's good. And you go, right, I'm going to get to 10 minutes. And it's like, it is an addiction. And it is one of, I wouldn't say it's a game you get good. I would say it's a game you understand.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you figure out the synergies of things, you figure out the best approaches, and then, like,
And like, you'll find characters you like, characters you hate, especially with the Castlevania one, having to go through with so many characters.
yeah. Like, do you want one of the really slow spell book that occasionally maybe bothers something? Or do you want this guy with
But
a whip that
sometimes
wrecks?
they're the ones that get so much better. Like, starting off, someone like Poe. It's like, well, walk near me, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Like, he has a barrier around him, which is essentially garlic, which kills anything that comes close. That's like I would say it's a beginner's character.
That is pretty great, yeah.
But then, I can't remember who it is, but the one who has, like, the random lightning.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that is terrible.
But when that gets to, like, its evolution,
yeah,
it's
was it
ridiculous.
the Thunder Ring or whatever it is. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
But the regular one, yeah, if you're hoping it's going to get one near you to save you, out of luck. It's just going to go somewhere else.
I think what is surprising recently, I've been playing a surprising amount of mobile games, one of which I know you are also playing, which is Pokemon trading card game on mobiles, aka crack, or just gambling for the family.
Yeah, effectively.
It's so good, but I think it's probably the lesser of two evils than buying actual Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I think with how much I've just been hooked on trying to get the virtual packs, which are free, and, you know, grinding that extra little bit just to get another one. If I was buying the real packs,
oh, it's like,
I'd be bankrupt.
yeah, 100%. That is a game I haven't spent any money on yet. I also haven't done the premium pass, even though it's kind of tempting, but I think it's like £10 a month, which I'm like,
So I don't know if this is just because I've recently got it, but at the minute it's like, do you want to do a 2-week free trial of that?
I know there's a trial, and if you remember to cancel it, it's free. So
Yeah.
I do feel like, I think if I had like a week off, I would hammer it,
That's fair.
get everything done, and then just bin it off.
Yeah.
But we have got some more Pokemon TCG news coming up after me talking about my #1 gaming addiction at the moment, which is
What would that be?
it's Balatro. It's been Balatro for like 2 or 3 months. I think it was before Christmas I started playing Balatro, and I'm just starting to get good. And that is a game which is addictive. It is, I wouldn't even say it's simple. It's complicated, and then it gets more complicated, then it gets more complicated, and you're like, you have like boards, you're like, right, if I get this card, then this card, I can buy them and do that and do this. And it's like, if you get them, it's basically poker on speed. So it's like poker, but all the jokers do different things. Like, you might get a joker which does like a 5 times multiplier, or you get a joker that makes all kings score double. But then you might get something that doubles something up, and it's basically making the jokers do something to each other, which does something to the cards. It's incredibly hard to explain if you've never played it, but oh, it's so good. It's like, it's so simple, and you can play a run in like 20 minutes, and yeah, it's one of those perfect kind of pick up and play kind of games where it starts so simple. And the fact it's been released on everything, and also it does have some really good crossovers. Like, I know it's got a Vampire Survivors crossover, so there's a deck of vampire cards. They make no difference, they just look cool. But I also know they've done a Balatro quest line in Cyberpunk 2077 now.
What?
Which is really cool. And also, the social media for Balatro on TikTok is tapped. It's really odd. Really odd, but just
What you want?
I really want to get some physical Balatro cards as well.
That'd be cool. I think I've seen one. Isn't there like a Witcher deck as well?
Yeah, so you can get a physical copy of Gwent for
Nice.
Witcher 3, which is really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I think I got a couple of the collector's editions which did come with, like, yeah, I find Gwent's, I think it's quite difficult.
Yes, I spent many hours trying to figure out how to play it in game, and then I was like, well, I'm still lost.
Yeah, I think also, like, for The Witcher 3, like, trying to find all of the Gwent cards is, like, absurd.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, I think that is what we have both been playing this week. But we're going to go on to some news, and on the topic of Pokemon trading card game. There is a new deck, 2 new packs, I think, coming this Friday.
Ooh.
To Pokemon TCG, which is pretty exciting. I think it's the Diamond and Pearl. No, not. I just can't remember. Have you seen it?
I've not yet. No.
It's 2 of like the god Pokemon per se. Like
lovely.
actually, it's just behind me. These 2 guys.
Oh, them dudes.
Well, I can't really gender Pokemon.
Peeps.
These 2 Pokemon that I absolutely forget the name of. Like, ask me the first 151, I can do the guess that Pokemon. But when it gets past that, I'm like,
I'm gonna call it Giga Chad and Stagulon.
But yeah, they are the 2 new cards. I'm sure they're going to absolutely be ridiculous. I'm sure people are going to be wanting to get them straight away. And I think that trading is also coming in the new update.
Ah, nice.
But with one of the biggest caveats I think I've ever seen. You have to spend Stardust to trade,
Oh, come on
I
now.
think. And also you cannot trade every single kind of card. Like, I think it's only up to a certain rarity.
Okay, so you can't go binning off EXs.
Yeah,
people.
so I guess you can't literally, like, sell your kids' Pokemon cards to Logan Paul or something. Which is what everyone would do. Like, I feel like they should have, like, some kind of Diablo-free kind of stock market where you can sell the cards.
That would be kind of cool.
But as well, then it's like, you're kind of getting into crypto then.
Actually, yeah. Yeah.
Which is crazy, but yeah, people would. You can guarantee people would, wouldn't they?
Oh yeah, like the amount of things you can like go on eBay for, and it's just like cosmetic things in game. People would absolutely be selling their digital cards.
Oh, 100%. And well, it's like going back to, say, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. They had like the EE pre-order code, which I still actually have a code. I've sat on it and I'm like, do I sell it? But like digital online codes, like 50 quid, or like that's what the Call of Duty one's going for at the moment, or like Fortnite skins. I know can be very expensive.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think I've played Fortnite since it first began, but you know, we are middle-aged gamers and things like that. We don't have the time for. And on the topic, have you seen this headline recently that Elon Musk is a fake gamer?
I've seen the post
We're
that like
we're only
Grimes
going to talk
made.
about Elon Musk in a gaming.
Yes, nothing
else.
Nothing else. Not that there would be anything else.
We've already talked about punching Nazis on this podcast already. We're not going to go back into that. But yeah, so Elon Musk is supposedly... He got rumbled by some streamer or YouTuber for like being a fake gamer.
Excellent.
So he supposedly streams all the time to relax between going to the moon and various other stuff. But he was playing Path of Exile 2 and Diablo 4. He had like massively high level characters, like god tier armor and stuff. But people were watching him and like calling him out on like some of his spell casting.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think he was doing his healing delayed when a normal pro player would do it. And essentially he had to come out and admit that he'd paid people to level his characters. Which it's like, if the richest man on the planet cannot find time to game, what hope do the rest of us have?
Yeah, and if you can't, if you got all that money and you don't have time to game, what's the point? And
I would never get anyone to like level up my character in a game.
Nah.
It's just like, it's just a fit. You know, once you've done it, you're like, behold,
yes,
my
I've done
stuff.
This.
It's like, I don't really see the point of getting somebody to do that.
No.
I'm sure there's people who do it, but yeah, it's just absolutely crazy that he has paid somebody to do that. More that somebody's called him out on it, and he's had to admit it.
I don't know if it was faked for just lols, but there was a post I saw that was apparently from Grimes saying like, yes, the father of my child has done all of these things in gaming. I've seen it with my own eyes. That is all. It's like, that seems like a normal tweet and not a hostage thing at all.
Yeah, it's like, well, you know, none of us actually game.
No.
This is all just a virtual background. None of this is real games here.
I'm not even here.
No, we're
Two
all just
Dans.
AI.
No.
That'd be we're probably going to have that in the future.
I reckon.
Because I don't think AI will probably drivel on as much as we're going to.
Yes.
But our final piece of news this week, because January's pretty quiet, is the fact that Xbox... Actually, no, we've got 2 more pieces. I actually highlighted one. But we'll do... Actually, first, Switch 2.
Yes.
It's
Electric
finally...
Boogaloo.
Should have called it something cool. Should have called it either the Nintendo Super Switch or Switch 2 Electric Boogaloo, or just Mr. Switchy.
Switch up.
Switchy Switch Up's pretty good. Switchy McSwitchface.
Yeah, they could have bought out the rights to Swatch and then had tie-in watches, because they're all about the tie-ins.
Yeah. If we all knew it existed.
Oh yeah.
It was always going to exist, but now it is official. It is playing it safe. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's basically just slightly bigger.
Slightly bigger and slightly rounder, like we all become our overage. And yeah, but it has got a OLED screen and it is
That's cool.
4K. So finally, Nintendo has gone 4K. Which, did you ever play the Wii U between the Wii U and the Wii?
I managed to avoid playing that.
See, I was very late to the Wii U, but I did play it before the Switch was like a twinkle in Nintendo's eye. And it is weird back then seeing like Nintendo go from like the Switch is like, I don't know, 320p
Yeah.
to like HD Switch, HD Wii U. And now I think it's going to be really weird seeing Mario Kart in 4K.
That's true, yeah.
But that is the one thing that really excites me about the Switch 2 is the new Mario Kart.
Yeah, I'm terrible at Mario Kart, but I always enjoy playing them. Cause
This is like the thing with Nintendo make very, 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 very good Nintendo games.
Yes.
Nintendo do not make anything that isn't Nintendo games very good. Like, you're not going to be playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on the Switch 2.
No, that's not what you get it
Presumably.
for.
You get it so you can play Nintendo games. So they are their selling points. Like, you know, when we had the Mega Drive, it's like, you can only play Sonic here. Obviously, Sega's deader than dead. Well, Sega's probably doing better now, shipping its games off to various companies, but...
It's kind of died, but then its spirit has possessed other things, and it just appears.
I suppose it is also one of the biggest movies in the cinema as we speak.
That's a fair point. With a fourth on the way, I think.
Yes, and it has Jim Carrey and now Keanu Reeves. And also Idris Elba.
Yeah. It's like pulling all the time.
It's pretty crap. But then again, have you seen the Super Mario film?
I haven't, no.
Oh,
Hang on, which one?
Oh, the good one, the original. Not this new rubbish one, the absolute weirdness. We should definitely talk about video game movies in the future.
Oh, 100%.
But otherwise we will go on absolute tangent. But yeah, the problem I see with the Switch 2 is it's going to be Steam Deck money.
Yes.
It's going to be the same price for essentially the same thing with a slightly smaller library than the Steam Deck. Isn't the Steam Deck getting like 6,000 games a week or something absolutely absurd at the moment? And the thing is as well, Steam sale.
Yeah.
I reckon in 40 years time, Switch games will still be 40 quid.
Yeah. And on top of that, as well as like Steam sales, you can go on things like CD keys.
Yeah.
Just buy your PC and these Steam games cheaper on there, and then bosh, done.
But I think that's the thing with Switch 2. It is going to be the only way to play Nintendo games.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking this new Mario is going to be incredible. I'm really expecting they're probably going to delay the new Pokemon.
Yeah.
Which seems to have disappeared over time. I expect the new Pokemon will disappear. And I expect Metroid Prime 4 will be the final kind of swan song of the Switch and the start of Switch 2.
Yeah.
I think they will release it on both.
Do you reckon Switch games will be playable and sort of
They
back
are.
and forth?
It has confirmed it's backwards compatible.
Cool. I saw something wondering if they were going to put like a little nodule on the side so you can't.
It would have been. It's good they are doing backwards compatibility because the Switch library is huge, and I'm still on a massive Switch backlog.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Switch back.
But Switch were not... Nintendo weren't the only ones to have a big announcement this week. We also had the Xbox Games Direct, which they have announced some big games, probably a few of which we are both going to talk about now in our top 5 upcoming most anticipated games of 2025. So I recently did a list of 10 on my channel, so some of mine will cross over with that list. Actually, all of mine are on that list. And I'm going to let you go first and see if we have any crossovers, and then if not, I'll drop any games I got in after. So, Dan, you have the floor.
So my first one, as you probably would have guessed, even if you didn't see the iPad, is Atomfall, which I'm very excited for. It's been...
it's also on my list.
Yeah. It's been developed by Rebellion Developments, which is very fun.
So what have Rebellion made recently?
They're Sniper Elite boys.
They are.
Alien vs Predator games.
Oh, I do like the Alien vs Predator. Have you seen there's a new Sniper Elite as well?
Yes,
It's
that's
co-op.
nothing.
So this is going to be a running theme of today. That's also day one on Games Pass.
Nice.
Yeah, that's day one.
Oh, co-op, then you can, you know.
Once again, you can shoot Nazis. There's a lot of shoot. I think probably the title of this will be Punching Nazis.
Effectively. Also, one of the things I did look at was a new Zombie Army game on VR, which will also be
Ooh.
undead zombies. Oh, undead Nazis even.
They're just the best enemy for any game.
Effectively. You don't have to feel bad.
No. But yeah, Atomfall looks absolutely incredible, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be... I think the chops for it are very impressive. I mean,
yeah,
it's been made by the sister company of sort of Rebellion Publishing, who bought 2000 AD. So the story part of it, I imagine they've probably got a lot of access to people that will do some decent writing.
Yeah, and I think the setting's going to be incredible. Like Cumbria, I think it's just, is it late 40s, early 50s?
I think so, yeah.
Stuff like that. It's based on a nuclear fallout.
Yeah, and
not a bomb, just a meltdown, isn't it?
Yeah, just everything goes whoop whoop.
Yeah, like it's actually based on a real event as well.
Oh yeah, that's
which
cool.
I think it's the Windfall disaster, which I've never heard of until that game was announced.
Same actually, yeah. And a good thing as well, I think anyway, is that Rebellion being a British company, it won't have the sort of core blimey governor thing of like.
I hope there's at least one core blimey governor person.
It's like, oh, this British game has been made by people that have never stepped outside of New Jersey. So it's just either very posh
very
people or
imagine
posh
like a What We Do in the Shadows style.
That'd be amazing. So yeah, from what I can see, I know it's drawing a lot of comparisons with Fallout and such, but it seems to have more of an Outer Worlds, Borderlands sandbox
I think so.
approach.
I think it's going to be a lot more kind of talking, stealthing, getting people to do what you want, convincing. That's what I was looking for. Convincing people, treachery, more like rather than just kind of running in with a fat boy and leveling the whole of Cumbria.
Yeah, and I think it probably plays well to it as well that it's going to have smaller, interconnected areas, because if you compare like Cumbria to the Mojave, like if you have open world Cumbria, you can probably cross it like pretty quick.
Yeah, I expect it's probably going to be a forest, some moorland, the lake, a river. Yeah. But I think it's going to be very. I'm very, very excited for it. It was the first game on my list as well.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued for
is
Hot Fusion.
Is that next month? No, that's not next month.
That one,
March.
Yeah, 27th of March. That should be dropping.
March.
Day one. Yeah.
This year's looking crazy.
We got some hefty drops.
I'm definitely going to have to pay somebody to level up my game.
Did you want to go one for one, or
no? Because we crossed paths on that first one. I'm 100% with that one. So yeah, what was your second?
So second one, interestingly, as I just referenced New Vegas, this one's actually being developed by the people that made New Vegas, Obsidian, and that is Avowed.
Which is also the second game on my list.
Ah, great minds. See, this is not going to help with people thinking it's just an AI second year.
No, but this is also going to push the narrative of this episode that this year on Games Pass looks absolutely awesome.
There's some really rich, content-heavy...
There is a big game, there's a big must-play game every month this year on Games Pass, I'd say.
Yeah.
And I think we've just covered the first 2 months.
Yeah. It just seems like there's going to be so much to these games, so it's not going to be a quick, oh, that's fun, fuff around for a bit.
No.
Just get stuck in.
So
adventures.
I think we're probably both going to finish Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And then it'll be going on to this next game Avowed. Then probably straight into Atomfall.
Yep.
But yeah, it's more about Avowed.
So, as notable works from Obsidian, not just New Vegas, but South Park Stick of Truth.
I actually really like that game. Really game. And did they make the second game as well? The Fractured But Whole.
I'd be surprised if they didn't. Although a lot of it seems with each South Park game that comes out, it changes. Yes, in some way or another. Yeah, so what I didn't realise until looking into it is that not only can you dual wield magic and melee weapons, but there's firearms as well.
Is there firearms?
Yeah.
Can you have a sword and an arm of fire? Oh, a fire! I thought you made an arm on fire, which I'm sure you can.
More than likely.
So guns as well.
Yeah, which I'm very intrigued about.
That's cool. Oh, you could do such a... I think the thing I'm excited about Avowed is how you could do some really sick setups.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you can do I'm a barbarian, axe and stick for hitting stuff. or if you can do like a kind of long range archer kind of build, really, with 2 guns. Like you do like a dual wielding, like John Wick style thing, or you could do
That'd
like
be
a
very fun.
wizard with like magic, and it's going to be really. It looks really good.
And it looks like there's a lot of synergy with powers as well, and you can have quite a dynamic, sort of customized approach to it as well. So,
Yeah.
almost like with Bioshock, I think there might actually be some of the people that maybe worked on one of the Bioshocks involved. In that you could freeze them and then just go up and wallop them into pieces.
Yeah.
Which, always good.
And it looks very. We are both quite hardcore D&D nerds. It looks very
yes.
D&D, doesn't it?
100%.
It looks very kind of old school Baldur's Gate.
Yes. Very high fantasy, some bright colours, a little bit trippy.
It's kind of, it's what you expect. It's
Yeah.
quality fantasy role playing kind of game.
Some very rich conversations and some very in-depth lore.
And I think it's going to build a really good world. I think that's one of the things. It's going to be. I hope it's the start of a big world, because Obsidian are fantastic at building worlds.
Yeah, and they've had a bit of a tough run because I think they got bought out in 2018 because they went a bit south, and then Pillars of Eternity had to be kickstarted, I think. So this is their first like big game in a while. Although they are also,
They got bought out by Xbox.
that'd be it.
In the Xbox's acquisition of everything of 2023, 2024, they just bought every studio that wasn't.
They actually own my right kidney.
Yeah, they own my left, so I think that's a full set.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, very excited for Valve. Not long to wait.
No, actually. So yeah, I'm gonna need to stock up on the vitamin D tablets because I won't be leaving the house very much.
No, it's going to be a very. At least it's a good time of year for gaming.
Yes, 100%.
What is your third game?
Little sneaky one in here you might not have seen come, or you probably know about, but it's Terrifier, the arcade game.
Yes, I have seen this. So isn't it like an old school side-scrolling,
Yeah.
16-bit kind of game, like kind of
Yeah.
Turtles in Time jobby?
Yes.
Yes.
So
ultra-violent side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Super gory, fun pixel art, and it's got the sort of trademark dark humour of the films.
Yes.
Which is, I mean, you might think humour in those. Yeah,
I've seen it's very kind of, it's very like, it reminds me of kind of Zombies Ate My Neighbours,
Yes.
or kind of mixed with Streets of Rage, mixed with Brutal Murder.
Yeah, and it has a bit of a Nightmare on Elm Street, New Nightmare vibe, because
Yes.
the plot is Art's just creating havoc on the sets of films of people making films
I
about
did
art.
not know. That's
So,
really cool.
He's just
I
like
was kind of
arriving.
wondering what the story's going to be rather than murder.
Yeah, and it's local co-op, which is nice because I feel like that's
Nice.
died a little bit.
Yeah, oh, well, couch co-op's what we like.
Yes. I don't know who else you'll get. Probably
The girl,
Art, the girl, Vicky.
remember that lady who had no face?
Is that Vicky?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
And then I don't know.
Maybe Chris Jericho.
That'd be fun. Yeah,
Pretty cool.
that's true. Just,
Never forget Chris Jericho's in Terrifier 2.
oh yeah,
And
he's the,
is it started? I haven't seen Terrifier 3 yet.
yeah,
Is it
he's
start
right at the
there,
start of
isn't
there.
it?
Yeah. As of yet, we don't have a release date for that, but they have been pretty keen on getting out this year.
It's plainly going to go digital, and I expect it will probably get picked up by Limited Run. It screams Limited Run to me, or some kind of small company will pick that one up.
Yeah, because
Nearly 100% guarantee that.
Limited Run kind of, they seem to enjoy more sort of cult almost ones as well.
Yeah, they definitely kind of pick up the smaller, kind of more obscure games. I think that's definitely one they're going to look to picking up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a really good shout.
Yeah, I think that'll be just some good, like, sort of turn off your brain, button mashing chaos, just for a good
Yeah,
giggle.
and that's one I totally forgot about. What's next on your list?
Next one, Elden Ring Night Rain, which could go either way, if I'm honest. I'm a little bit nervous about it.
See, I'm sighing because I never got good. I am not good at Dark Souls. I'm not good at any of the Souls-esque games. I love to watch them. I like to watch people stream them. I love the lore behind them, but the gameplay, I am useless.
It is an acquired taste, I suppose. Yeah. It took me a while.
I like my games to be somewhat relaxing rather than
that's fair.
Incredibly. So is that the free player co-op one?
It is, yes. And rather than having custom builds like in all the other Soulsborns, you have, I think, 8 sort of hero characters to pick from. So you have a set build, but the loot is randomized each time. The boss placement, and I think to an extent the world.
Yeah.
Roguelike.
Isn't it? Is it a day? So
3 days.
3 days. I know it's like got some kind of day-night cycle.
Yeah, you pick. I think you pick like your ultimate boss you want to go against.
Yeah.
And then you have 3 days, and at the end of each day, there's a horrible boss, and you've got all that time to collect loot, get what you need, and then based on how well you do, you get some permanent upgrades or some currency to upgrade. So there is some sort of permanent upgrade system.
Is it going to have crossover bosses from Elden Ring?
Somehow, yeah, there's going to be other things. It's been spotted in the trailer that's been released. You've got the Nameless King from Dark Souls 3.
Nice.
Who was a real pain in the bum.
Yes.
Massive lightning boy on a huge dragon that was just like, I'm going to scream at you from above. It's like, cool.
See, I could get into this one because it could be co-op and I could be dragged kicking and screaming through it.
To be fair, like, with how my reactions have gone in recent years, like, I tend to noodle about on the fun, more adventure bits, and when it gets to a boss, I'll be like, right, I need summons. Help me.
Oh, just imagine how angry some people are going to get playing it online.
Yep.
You're going to get like some person like me who just walks in and goes, hello, play this game, just go book, and just be absolutely one-shotted by some absolute monster.
You, at least, I'd assume, as you've got the pre-designed builds, you won't have the issue that I still have, even though I've played all of them, of not really knowing how to min-max properly. So I'll have stats here, there and everywhere based on just what I want to use rather than making a good build.
Yeah, I expect it will kind of be more, you can just kind of jump in, pick something and it will work.
Yeah, you know what will be good for Big Bonk or what will be good for finesse.
Yeah, so if you want to be like kind of somebody who does a lot of parries or just rolls around like Sonic or he just stands there and just takes it.
Yeah, just like... just two great shields just wander in like a truck.
Yeah, that was not what I expected to hear next of the Elden Ring games.
Yeah, when so much of the community... I bet, I haven't looked into it, but I assume the community's angry because the amount of purists...
Of course the community are angry. The community's always angry.
That's true. Yeah, fair point. But the amount of ones that go like, oh, if you thumb and you haven't really beaten the boss. So the fact that this one's just like co-op, they're going to hate it.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
Yeah, it should be good. I'm going to jump in here because I have another free-player co-op randomly. 2025 seems to be the year of free-player co-op. Have you seen FBC Firebreak?
Oh my god, is that the one set in the Control universe?
It is the one set in the Control universe where essentially like you are sent in to clean up the mess by the looks of things. I think like so it looks absolutely incredible. It's a free-player cooperative kind of, I would say, Left 4 Dead-y kind of shooter.
Yeah.
And if you haven't played Control or Alan Wake, it's absolutely fantastic. The setting of Control is really, really good. Very supernatural, paranormal. It's going to be really, really good. I think it's going to go through a lot of places in the Institute. But I think as well with Elden Ring, 3 players is the optimum number because then you kind of have to work together. You can't 4-player co-op, 2 and 2. Yep. You're probably going to be fine. 3. You work together or one person's going to get picked off.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we'll go get that. One person goes off and then it's like, where's Dave?
You're going to, with something like that, if you leave one person by themselves, they're going to get absolutely murked. And I expect it's going to be classes which probably work with each other.
That's good, yeah.
And yeah, it looks really, really exciting. It's not what I was expecting from the kind of Control franchise to go 3-player cooperative.
Yeah, and first person, from what I can tell.
Yeah, for first person as well. But it looks really, really good.
I like SCPs as well, so
yes,
kind of tickles the...
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to... I think they can... It's just infinite scope, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and the guns are wild, just like...
Yeah, yeah, like I like the kind of... Yeah, they look very like kind of steampunky.
Yeah, I'll be disappointed if one doesn't make like Pop Goes the Weasel as it goes.
Yeah, I can imagine like a music box or something where like a demon jumps out and rips people apart.
Oh yeah, like a grenade. Just.
What was your favourite SCP in like kind of Control?
Oh gosh,
I've got mine. I'll let you think for a minute. Mine was the fridge. Like it had to be watched consistently,
yes.
And if they turned their back on the fridge and it kind of killed that guy, I can't remember his name. He had like a really boring name like Paul or something.
Yeah, I think it was that one. I was trying to remember if it was
called Paul.
Yeah, I know several. Yeah, yeah, I was trying to think if it was that or a TV, but I could remember the set piece.
Maybe it was a TV. It was a fridge or a TV. But yeah,
I think you're right. But yeah, that was mine.
That game looks very exciting. There's not a great deal to go on it at the moment, but more Control and shockingly, It's games past day one.
Nice. I'm not going to have to buy any games this year, I don't think.
No, it's like, oh, we got these games for free. It's like, well, we got to pay for the service, but yeah, I've got 2 more, so I'll let you go again.
That also means more money to buy online Pokemon cards.
Yeah. Or to pay people to play our games.
That too. Or pay Grimes
So,
to tweet that we do play our games.
Yeah, I wonder what's cheaper. So have you got 2 more?
1 more, I believe. Yeah.
Perfect. I'll let you go because one of mine is a speculative.
So, kind of same. Mine isn't confirmed. It's heavily suspected, and that is the rumoured Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion remake. Which, if that happens,
What do you reckon will happen first? The remake or Elder Scrolls 5? 6?
6. Definitely the remake. I don't think 6 is going to arrive till at least 2027.
Do you think we'll land on Mars before Elder Scrolls 6?
More than likely. I
mean, like human colonization.
I think by that point, Elon Musk will be a head in a jar and screaming about how he won a Dota 2 tournament.
Yeah, it's like... I like how all these games have kind of come and filled the void of not having an Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, effectively.
Because, like, well, someone's got to do it. But yeah, the remake looks... I'm presuming it's going to be steamy.
I don't know. So, from what I've looked in my relatively shallow dive on it, it's going to be a full remake in Unreal 5, which will be great because you don't want to have the creation engine of face all of the time.
Yeah.
Halt! And it looks like it's going to be across most platforms. And it's mainly suspected for a couple different reasons. There were some things published as part of a federal trade thing that said that there were some unannounced games for Bethesda, and it's like, unannounced, you say? And a art director, or was it a tech art advisor that was working with Bethesda, mentioned that there was a full remake of a game of Bethesda's being made for this year, and that they're working on in 2023-24. And then there are other bits that have just said on their website, yes, Oblivion remaster, that have then been kind of like hidden.
I'm trying to think what other Bethesda remake it'll be to really disappoint people.
It will probably just be like the anniversary update of Skyrim.
Yeah, actually, it's worryingly long since I've had a Skyrim update.
Switch 2.
Oh, yeah, Switch 2 launch.
That'll be it. That's
print money. Do you think there will be... Actually, no, because if they... Actually, we'll go on to GTA 6 in a little while. But I think when... GTA 6? GTA 5? I think they will probably do more remakes. I think they will keep making remakes of Skyrim until they make something else, and I think they will still keep doing it because they just keep releasing like GTA.
Yeah,
that's now been on PS3, 4, and 5.
Yep.
And probably when the new GTA comes out, they will probably stop.
You would hope,
but I'm sure we'll talk about GTA 6 a lot this year.
More than likely,
because it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, so I did not realise they were going to do a remake of that, so that could be very good. Yeah,
apparently there's a bunch of systems that have been reworked, so it's not just like whacking everything over into Unreal, but they're changing like the blocking system to be more Dark Soulsy and parry-ish, which is good.
It's, some of it has aged. Just standing there with a shield gun. Yeah, just eating it.
Yeah, and sort of like the stealth mechanics are going to be upgraded, so it will feel a little bit more. Because obviously, if you just did a straight like remaster and a polish or something that came out in what 2006, 2008, something.
It's probably best not to think about it.
That's true. I'll turn to dust in front of your very eyes. But yeah, I reckon if you pulled that forward now, it'll be like, oh god, my memories. No.
Yes, I have played it reasonably recently, and it has aged. It does need to, especially sort of textures.
Yeah.
The textures do not look smooth now, but yeah, that's really good news.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that. That's, even though I love Skyrim, Oblivion is my favourite of the Elder Scrolls games.
So I have 2 more games, one of which is quite a nice segue from one of the worst looking games ever to one of the best looking games I've ever played. Have you played Ghost of Tsushima?
I have. It was gorgeous.
It's so good. It's one of the best looking games on PlayStation 5. I played it on PlayStation 5. I never played it on PS4. I kind of waited, got the complete edition, loved every minute of it. I don't even like samurais. I don't really like samurai movies.
Same.
But it's so good, isn't it?
It's good. Just just the set pieces are all just so gorgeous, and the way it all just comes together.
It's just a perfectly playable cutscene. It's the Metal Gear of samurais.
Yes, just sneaking through like the nice swishy grass.
And it's one of the only real big PlayStation exclusives I'm looking forward to this year is the new one, Ghost of Yotai.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it.
We'll go with yes.
Yes. But yeah, so set 300 years after the first game.
Nice.
So possibly no crossover. It looks ridiculous already. The graphics, they look absolutely insane. Like, and also it has guns, which was kind of leaked right at the end of the trailer.
Ooh.
I expect it to be more like kind of how they had guns in Assassin's Creed 3, if you ever played that.
Yeah.
Where it's basically like you'll get like one shot and then ditch it.
Yeah, fire and forget.
But yeah, I'm very excited for that one because like it's just gonna be, when you talk about games being cinema, it's gonna be absolutely beautiful, and like it's gonna be a day one for me.
Yeah. The fact that like the first one had the Kurosawa filter
Yes.
to make it seem more like one, it was just.
And
It
it
had
was
a really
such a-
minimal HUD as well.
It was such a believable world as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I played it with no HUD.
Yeah.
I turned everything off. It's one of the only games I purposely got good at parrying because it looks so good. When you get somebody runs through you and you just go, and it's like they just fall to the ground. You're like, I am the Don. I am so cool. All I do is just stand there and just command people to come towards you.
I love that.
Oh, it's just so good.
I hope that mechanic's still in it.
It's one of the most satisfying games I've played of recent years, and I think it probably has single-handedly killed Assassin's Creed for me.
Yeah, because everything Assassin's Creed tries to do,
It did better.
it did better, yeah.
In every way, shape, and form.
Like, even trying to do the little outposts in Assassin's Creed felt samey, but in Ghost of Tsushima, it was like,
It was
how
like,
can I do this?
let's find some way funny to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. But, yeah, it's one, again, there's not a great deal about it yet.
No, strangely.
Trailer, sold instantly. But there's one more game I want to talk about, which is been my most anticipated game of a couple of years now. It keeps getting delayed. Hopefully this year we finally get Jurassic Park Survivor.
Yes.
It's I presume it's going to be one of those, any kind of survivor horror game where you have no guns is scarier.
Oh, yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, if you can't fight back in any way, shape,
Yeah.
or form, terrifying.
Resident Evil 7, terrifying, till you get a shotgun. Then all fear is gone.
Then trivial.
Yeah, Amnesia, terrifying.
you.
Outlast,
Worst.
worst. Absolute worst.
Madison. That's
I
horrible.
haven't played Madison.
I started playing Madison and was like, do you know what? I don't think my nerves can take it.
Alien Isolation.
Oh boy.
Also, the AI in that was absurd.
Yeah, when I started playing that, I didn't realise it had the sort of the noise.
Yeah, great game to
Mechanic.
play on a stream.
Oh,
She
yeah.
talks in and it's like, what?
It's like, there
It's
you
like,
are.
oh, yeah, I've seen that's. But yeah, it looks really good. It's essentially a game set after the events of the first Jurassic Park film, literally the next day. It's a scientist who's left behind and she's trying to get off Jurassic Park. It looks ridiculous. I think all we've got is like a 90-second trailer and like 30 seconds of alpha gameplay, but if it comes out, it's just my dream kind of Jurassic Park game to be able to like escape the island.
That's
and
cool.
I think if they can also do this as like a free roaming, how do you want to do this kind of jobby?
That would be very fun.
Because, you know, you can either go, right, the most direct route is probably through the T-Rex paddock, but I suppose the T-Rex would be loose at that point. I suppose all the dinosaurs would be loose because fences would be down.
That's a good point. You could
So, yeah,
probably...
it's gonna be chaos, but I think it could be really good. But it's kind of disappeared into kind of obscurity of like, is it, isn't it?
Danger of being vaporware kind of thing.
Yeah, but I feel like it's one of those games. Like, there's been people who've made very similar things using like Steam Workshop.
Yeah,
and I think it's just a license to print money, especially with the new Jurassic World, whatever it's called, coming out this summer.
And I thought it had been a while.
Supposedly it's an R-rated or 18. 18?
Ooh.
Is that the same R?
I think so.
It's a more adult-based Jurassic Park, which I'm going to take with a bag of salt.
Yeah.
Because Jurassic Park is, I think it's a franchise for all ages, but it's more aimed towards kids. Much like Star Wars nowadays. But the first Jurassic Park book and the Lost World novels are ridiculously graphic.
Yeah.
Like, very, very violent. I feel like they might lean more into that kind of Aliens fear of Jurassic Park, which I mean this game will cross over really well, but it's just a game I hope comes out this year. In a year which is absolutely packed.
What you said a second ago about kind of having a more choose your own way with it, it made me think a little bit actually of Amnesia: The Bunker.
I've only played the very first Amnesia game, and I would say hated it, but it scared the living, you know what.
Yeah, I mean, Bunker isn't huge, but there is an aspect of sort of you can pootle around and figure out where you've got to go. It's not quite as linear as the other ones are. So I'm just thinking that on like a bigger scale.
Yeah, I'm just essentially thinking you'll probably wake up in the centre of the island. It's like, well, you're going to have to get to the docks or a boat or something.
You got to wonder like how they're going to do it narratively that this person has missed all the like wakes up.
I expect they've been bonked by something, or I wonder if it'll be some hilarious they've ran into a door or just overslept.
Yeah.
Maybe a heavy night on Jurassic Park.
Could be.
Yeah,
wake up in a pile of cans.
It's very much my speculative. I hope it comes out this year, and if not, this year is still absolutely. There's so many more games coming out this year, including obviously the new GTA, which I'm sure we'll talk about more in the future, and close to release again if we ever get a release.
Yeah.
But to finish off today, I reached out on my social media and on YouTube. And I've been asked some questions. So we've got a few questions. So on future podcasts, please send in your questions. But our first question for both of us, which I will probably answer first because I've already thought of an answer because I've cheated and have the questions ready. So this one's from James Skinner. It said, if you could release a NES game in today's market, what would it be? So essentially, a kind of forgotten NES game that you'd like to bring back. So I'll let you think for a minute. And mine is Skate or Die. Because it was essentially like Tony Hawk's before its time, and we are sorely missing a good skateboarding game at the moment. And it's just such a great title, you know. And also Ski or Die, not as good, but absolutely fantastic game. I think you could bring it back really well now. Yeah, I think it'd work really well in today's market. Even if it was kind of maybe a mobile game. It doesn't have to be like, it would have to be the deepest thing of all time, but I think it'd work really, really well. Is there anything you can kind of think of off the top of your head?
Crikey, that's a good one. See, I'm not as well versed with NES back catalogue stuff because I was a filthy Sega child. Yeah.
See, I think like harking back to what we were saying earlier about that Terrifier game. There was a lot of kind of
that's a good
Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street kind of games back then, which were crazy.
Oh, I tell you which one. I think it must have been on there as well. What was it called? Two Crude Dudes.
Two Crude Dudes, absolutely fantastic. Oh, that would be
amazing.
Good.
I love that.
I think there's like some very similar games that have been released recently, like kind of Broforce. Have you played Broforce?
I love Broforce.
Great game. You should definitely stream that at some point.
100%.
Absolutely fantastic game. Yeah, so that's kind of a spiritual successor kind of job, you know.
Yeah.
That's a really good shout. But we'll go on to the next one, and this one's a difficult one, especially for me because I'm a collector. In case you did not realise. And this question is from the Real Slims AG 7. Absolutely fantastic name.
Classic.
If you could only collect for one console and was forced to sell all the others and the games, which console would it be?
Oh, good grief.
So if you do not know, I have most consoles from Atari to Xbox, large collections for every single one, and I've racked my brains about this, and I think it changes day to day, but it would definitely be probably an older console that I'd keep, and I don't want to cop out. It would either be the PS1 or the N64, but I think I would go with the PS1 just because of the massive library for the PS1.
That's fair.
It's like there is no game, genre, title. Basically, there was a PS1 game for most things.
Yeah. Yeah. Many that probably ought not have been games.
Yes. Yeah, like Spice World. But yeah, I think it's got one of the best old school libraries.
That's fair. There are some real classics. I think in a similar vein, mine would be PS2 just because it was age of the third party.
Yes, that's probably the only way to get a bigger library.
Yeah.
I like how none of us copped out and went PC. But again, who collects physical PC games now? Do they even exist? Is there such a... I suppose no. I'm going to go with no.
Yeah, it can't be at this stage, can it?
No.
It's just all Steam. I reckon... No, I'm not going to make that.
PS2 is a very good shout, though.
Yeah, I mean, I had so many things on there that I would just love to just sit and play all day now. Like the Punisher video game.
Oh,
amazing.
such a good game.
First-
That needs a remaster.
Absolutely. I think Marvel will bury that and never let it
Oh,
happen.
yeah. But then again, the new Daredevil series is meant to have the Punisher back in properly. Like the Netflix canon, the I'm going to rub your face against a broken glass window Punisher.
Solid.
So very excited for that. Definitely have to talk about Marvel in the future because it's a big year.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a make or break year. But yeah, PS1 for me is a very good shout. PS2 is a very good shout because it's essentially you have probably the biggest games library of all time.
You got all the third party, all the shovelware, just everything.
And like all the good Rockstar games as well. All the good Metal Gears. All the survival horror games.
Yeah.
There's where a lot. So I've got a good start with all the PS1. There's a lot of big franchises starting on the PS1, but I dare say a lot of them improved on the PS2.
Yeah, they hit their stride a lot. Like
Yeah.
GTA, brilliant PS1.
Yeah.
Jump into
GTA.
3D.
Yeah. Oh my. The jump from GTA 2 to GTA London to GTA 3, absolute insanity.
Yeah, and that just kind of set the precedent for any sort of open world game at that point, really, didn't it?
Yeah, it's just absolutely. It basically invented the open world game. But we have one more question, and I've definitely set this one up from the start. This one is from Pixel Paul PXP. He asks, "What is your favourite piece of gaming clothing you own?" If you're watching this on the video format, it is this Vampire Survivors t-shirt, which I came across on eBay. I know you're jealous of. And I have no idea where it's from. I cannot find anything about it. I think I paid like $5 for it.
That's a steal, man.
I-
It's well good.
Don't know if somebody just printed it themselves, if it's a bootleg, if it's made by the one guy who made it. I have no idea. But I am quite a big fan of gaming clothing. I think you kind of get to that point where you're younger, you're like, oh, it's not really that cool to wear game-based t-shirts. You get to a certain age, you're like, do you know what, I really don't care.
Yeah, full circle round.
Yeah, I suppose like, you see like kids, like they go to Primark and have like PlayStation Mario t-shirts. You're like, oh, that t-shirt's pretty cool. And then we're like, no, that's not acceptable to wear in the adult world. It's like,
could it?
then you get to a certain age, you're like, do you know what, I don't care.
Yeah.
This is my Vampire Survivors t-shirt.
Exactly.
This
And
is sick.
in the same vein, mine is a lovely Solaire Dark Souls t-shirt, if you're watching the video version.
Do you like this? I love the art. See, this is the thing. I love everything about Dark Souls except the game.
Yeah, the aesthetic is lovely, even if there are some unpleasantly swampy, blighty bits. But
Yeah. But no, thank you for everyone for your questions. And I think for now, that is about it. So,
yeah.
what is your plan for the next few weeks?
Next few weeks, punch more Nazis.
Yep.
Also play Indiana Jones more.
Yep.
And yeah, get everything in a row for playing. What's next? Avowed.
It's going to be a very busy year for planning ahead.
But I think between then, I've got a massive back catalogue of VR games I picked up in the sale.
Yes, I think we're going to be talking a lot more about VR in the next episode because, spoiler alert, I've recently jumped a lot more into VR gaming, thanks to Dan here. But that is a tale for another time. So for now, we're going to say goodbye. I have been Dan the Games Man. You can find me on YouTube at Dan the Games Man. You can find us both on Twitch at twitch.tv/Dan the Games Man Twitch. And for now, thank you. Say goodbye, Dan.
Goodbye, Dan.
And remember, keep playing the game. See you soon.